Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. For today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really quick and easy masculine birthday card, and it's going to be using some of the Bration products. I really wanted to showcase these products because you only have about 2 weeks left to order any Bration items. Bration ends March 31st, so if you want some of these items, you really need to jump on it. And again, Bration, for those of you that don't know, every time you spend $50, you get one item out of our special Bration catalog perfectly. Perfectly is not the word I was looking for, but basically you spend $50 and you get one item completely free. So I wanted to go ahead and make another card showcasing a couple of these products just because they are not going to be around much longer. I do want to apologize first. I am not feeling very well today. I've been fighting this cold. I had about, I think there were like 5 or 6 people in my office that were out this past week with something, and I think I caught it and I thought I was over it, and now I don't think I am. So anyways, I apologize. I am sick, but I really wanted to get through, just push through and get some videos made for you guys. So again, we're going to be making this really, really cute masculine birthday card. I don't know if cute is the word that you should use for a masculine birthday card, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and I'm going to show you what we're going to need for this video. So as I mentioned, we are going to be using some Bration items. So the 2 stamp sets that we're going to be using are from Bration. The first one is the Perfect Pairings, and we're going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment, but you could really use any birthday, or not any birthday, you could use any of these sentiments. You could also use a birthday sentiment that you have, or any other sentiment that you have lying around at home. I just happen to really like these. I like the fonts, and this one little stamp set that you could get for free gives you a lot of options if you don't have a lot of sentiment stamp sets already. And I'm sorry, my printer is making crazy noises. Okay, so that's the first one, the Perfect Pairings. The second one, sorry, I'm just trying to move some stuff around back here. Ooh, and now I'm dropping things. Okay. The second one is Petal Pusher, which is my favorite Bration stamp set from this year's catalog. And for this was kind of my inspiration for this card. I really wanted to try to use this stamp set to make a more masculine card, because my first instinct is always to go something feminine just because I love it. And I've seen so many examples of pretty beautiful feminine cards made with this set. So I really wanted to try and do something more masculine because guys like bikes, boys like bikes, so I wanted to try and push the envelope with this one a little bit, and this was the inspiration for this card. We are also going to be using one stamp pad, so we're going to be using Night of Navy. This is from the Regals collection. It's a really, really great dark navy blue, hence the name Night of Navy, but it's a really, really nice blue, navy blue color, so I love that. We're going to be using a piece of paper from the Going Places Designer Series paper stack. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, especially since it's right there. Like I said, guys, I am losing it. So it's actually this piece right here that we're going to be using. But this paper stack has tons of pretty paper, pretty and masculine papers in it. So I always grab this when I want to make a more masculine card. So to get into our paper, actually, before I jump ahead, we're also going to be using the Banners Framelit dies, and along with our Big Shot. And then for the paper, so like I mentioned, we're going to be using a piece of the Designer Series paper. This is cut at 4 by 5¼ Then we are going to be using a piece of Basic Black, and this is cut at 3½ by 4¾ Oops, stuff is falling around all over here. We're going to be using a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3¼ by 4½. And then for our card base, we're going to be using a Delightful Dijon, which is cut at 8½ by 5½. And then I have, this is just a scrap piece of Delightful Dijon that I'm going to be using. You only need a little tiny piece big enough to cut out our little banner. So I will put some basic dimensions for the banner, and I'll put all of the dimensions for every other card, or every other layer for this card in the coordinating blog post, which is always the first link in the description below, so you guys can have all of the exact dimensions. So let's go ahead and jump into making this card. Okay, so to start off, we're going to go ahead and stamp our background, which again, like I said, is basically the focus and was the inspiration for the whole card. I really wanted to use the petal pusher set and make something that is more masculine. For whatever reason, I always feel like I reach for the stamp set when I want to come up with a really fun girly card, and you can really use it for so many different things. So all I'm doing is taking the bike stamp and inking it up with our Night of Navy. And I'm just stamping this bike all over the background, all over our little piece here. You want to make sure you turn it, give it some interest. And if you don't stamp perfectly, like that one wasn't a very good stamp, don't worry about it, because it is just our background piece. It's not going to be a super big deal if it's not 100% perfect. But you want to make sure you pretty much fill up most of the background, and there we go. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and actually, so I'm going to take this, set this off to the side as well, and while we have our ink out, I'm going to go ahead and do our last little bit of stamping. So I'm going to take the Happy Birthday stamp from the Perfect Pairings, like I was showing you guys earlier, again with our Night of Navy on our scratch piece of Delightful Dijon. Just going to ink that up really well. And I'm going to stamp it kind of in the center, left and right for this little piece. But there you go, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and close up our ink pad because we don't need that anymore. That's all the inking that we're going to be doing. I'm also going to move my scratch piece of paper out of the way. Oh, and move my stamps over so I don't knock them around and make a huge mess. So I guess we can go ahead and jump into cutting out, using our Big Shot, and cutting out our little sentiment, since we've just did that. So we're going to be using the third smallest little banner. And there we go. Just like that. So you're going to kind of try to get it as centered as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's never perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Big Shot. And I'm going to try to do this as best so you guys can see. I don't think you can see what I'm doing right now, but I'm just lining it back up. I'm centering it back where I just had it. And I'm going to put down my sandwich plate. Set that down. We're using tab 1. Is it tab 1? Tab 2, sorry. I don't know. I can't ever remember. Okay, and then I crank it through once and then twice. This framelit you really only need to crank through once, but I just do it twice just to be 100% sure. So then I'm going to move this back out of the way. And I just wanted to make sure that that didn't knock my camera around all crazy. Okay, so now we have our little banner piece. So you can take all of this stuff, set it to the side, and now it's really just assembling our card. That's how simple and easy this one is. So I'm going to grab our little pieces again. I'm going to set my banner off to the side because that's going to be the last thing that we're going to do. So the first thing, we're going to take our little bike piece. I'm going to find my adhesive. There it is. And we're just going to... Ooh, having trouble with that. We're going to run a couple lines of adhesive. Figure out which way you want this little guy to get oriented. I'm going to do it this way. And then we're going to put this onto our black piece. My upline is Robin from My Pink Stamper. And she's been doing a lot of cards and framing them in black recently, and I absolutely love that look. It's amazing. So you'll see in a couple of my upcoming cards, this one, and I think another one. Did I do it? Yeah, I did do it on another one. I was just looking. I have my cards for the week sitting next to me. You'll see in a couple of my new cards coming up that I definitely have been taking the... that design element and using it, because it really makes everything kind of pop. Okay, so now I just put that on our piece of designer series paper. You'll notice that the border around the designer series paper is a little bit bigger than the border of the black. I did that on purpose. I just wanted to be able to see the designer series paper a little bit more. Oh, sorry guys. Okay, so now we're going to take our piece of Delightful Dijon and fold this in half. Let me grab my bone folder. But speaking of my upline, if you guys, like I said, I've been getting tons of inspiration from Robin and everybody in our group. So if you want to become a demonstrator and be a part of a really fun group of people who just love to craft, love Stampin' Up! Product, anything like that, let me know. You can go over to my blog and there's a contact me form there. You can leave. You can send me a direct message, you can send me an email, anything, and I can give you all the information that you need to become a demonstrator and join our awesome group. It is so much fun. I honestly don't know what I would have done without all of the ladies in that group, because we just get so much inspiration from each other and so many cool things all the time. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to finish this card. So I just glued down, just use some regular adhesive. Everything is flat so far, so I put it on our card base, and now I'm going to take some dimensionals and use them to put on our little sentiment here. Oh, one more. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and center it as far as up and down, and then I'm going to orient it to the left hand side of the card. You could even do the same card. Actually, maybe we'll mix this one up. Well, I kind of stamped everything going vertical, but I think it would be really pretty if you did the card like that. So did it the opposite way and put that right there. But I do think, oh, I lifted that up just a little bit, but it's fine. I do think because I stamped the bikes with the intention of doing it this way, that it's going to look better. But maybe we'll put this a little bit closer to the bottom and to the left side. So it just mixes it up a little bit. But that's the card. That's it. It's super easy. You could seriously crank these out in no time. These are super fast, and you could change up the colors. So here's the other one if you wanted to see what it looks like more in the center. But you could really change these up, super simple. If you wanted to do this exact same style, but you did want to do it in a more, for a girl or in a more feminine way, you could stamp the bikes in a different color, use a different color of designer series paper, and use a different color cardstock, and you could take the same card and make it a completely different way. So it's just one of those that you can really take and twist and turn however you want it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you next time. Bye!